Welcome to Spiritual Psychic with Sarah Wiseman, where you'll learn how to unlock the secrets of spiritual intuition and your own psychic gifts. Here's Sarah.
Hey everybody, I'm Sarah Wiseman, and today we're talking about, is social media getting boring? Learn why all social media is less compelling than it used to be. And love for you to subscribe and or not, just check back when you want. It's not really that important to me, but anyway, you'll find me at sarahwiseman.com in future. So, is social media getting boring? And I want to say social media is so boring. When it came out, when we started to get this stream of information coming through our phones, we were captivated. We had never seen anything like this before. Imagine decades ago when radio came out. I hear from older people talking about, they had in their living room, they had a radio and they would sit and listen to the radio together to the one or two programs that came. Or imagine when television came out and suddenly this magical thing was available as entertainment in your house, and you could sit with your family and watch it. And way back there were only a couple channels, and even for those of you who are more my age, the programming was pretty specific. It wasn't all these choices. There were a few channels, there was a regular programming, and so this entertainment was coming out and it was captivating. And then that expanded, cable came, and then we got computers. We could do things on computers that we couldn't do, never dreamed of being able to do. And then phones came out. And, we have not had phones in terms of the trajectory of humanity. We've only had phones since, I don't know, maybe a couple decades. And a lot of younger people now, they don't remember a time when there weren't phones, but I remember a time when there weren't devices. I remember that well. Probably a lot of you guys do too. And so what's happened is we went from having to go from we had to go to a specific place, to our living room where we could listen to the radio or watch the TV together. And then we went to something a little more personal. We could access stuff on our computer, and maybe we had that in an office or a room where we could be alone and engaging with that. And then suddenly we had this device, and all this information that was once available only in this one, particular space was coming into us. And because of the portability of this device, suddenly we were taking all of this information that used to be reserved for after dinner time at home, and suddenly 24/7, we've got this device bringing in the information of the world. And suddenly, whereas before there was only, particular movie stars or particular celebrities or particular rock stars that were chosen by the entertainment companies and promoted like crazy. And suddenly we have, thousands and millions of artists and millions of YouTubers and millions of TikTokers, and everybody's very interested in putting their content out. So there's so much choice. And because we're human, a lot of it is pretty derivative and pretty much the same. And because we're human, we're kind of saying a lot of the same things in just slightly different ways. And so we get to have this boredom factor, especially in things that really are fairly surfacey anyway, that aren't that important. I personally think fashion is very fun to watch, or makeup. I think that's very fun to watch. I don't really participate myself, but at a certain point, you get to this point of like, yeah, it's interesting, and I'm not that interested. Or sports. Yeah, okay, I like sport. I don't particularly like sports, but a person might say, I like sports, but I'm kind of like, it's just not doing it for me. Or I like cooking shows, but that's not doing it for me. Or I like those goofy videos where someone falls, which I really don't like at all. But that's not doing it for me. Or celebrity news, like who's getting married and who's breaking up and who cheated on who and who just had a baby and who wore their dress to the Oscars, whatever. And suddenly this onslaught comes in. When we first saw it, we were interested, and now we're just not. And the other thing that comes is that we have been using social media as a way to escape our environment, right? Like everyone, you just see everyone, we have used it as a shyness device, or as an anxiety device, or as a way to disconnect from what's going on around us. But something very interesting is happening, is that we're no longer, and this is a part of our awareness that's been changing and shifting, we're no longer as interested in being separate. We're actually more interested in looking up from our device and like seeing what's around, like what's actually happening for us. And just that ability to just sit and be, I do not need to check this. Like there's nothing new there for me. But what's in the space outside, in the environment, who's there, what nature is there, how is the universe bringing me synchronicities, what am I paying attention to, how am I feeling? Suddenly the real stuff, is what's actually interesting to us. So this is a change. We got pretty absorbed in the new toy. Now we're like, I don't think the answer is not there. The answer is not there. The answer is in the world we actually inhabit. Today, it would be cool to put your phones down, just go do something else, like go for a walk, see what happens, ride the bus without your headphones, just kind of like be in it, see how that is for you, just as an idea. I'm Sarah Wiseman. Thank you for listening. I am at sarahwiseman.com, and I will see you next time.